typically the companies that we're working with are trying to scale revenue. So first of all, with this type of company that's got a big deal size, we will work out what strategies we can deploy to grow revenue. The starting point for that might be really understanding who their customers are. So, for example, it would be analysing a lot of their customer data to understand what type of verticals have the highest win rates, highest lifetime value, lowest CAC. What type of solutions are they buying? Often companies with these big deals might have different entry points. They might be bundling products together. So it's important to understand what's the typical entry point for a customer to buy this type of deal. We would analyse the market to understand, do some market research to understand like what more about the audience group and where they interact online. We would also analyse competitors to understand what strategies are they deploying, what seems to be the messaging that's resonating for them. So we'd kind of do a bunch of research in both customer and external research to see what the market is doing in this respect. And from there, we would work out then, what does the go-to-market motion need to be? So if the deal size is 150k, we know that we're not trying to capture tons of volume at this scale, simply because unless the company is an enormous, like hundreds of million ARR company, they might be going after big, like larger volume. But in reality, there's only so many companies out there that are able to spend 100,000, 150,000 on a software solution. So we recognize that we're trying to go after a certain amount of volume. And for this type of ticket price, what we would try to build is a go-to-market motion that was largely reliant on understanding who the accounts that we need to win are. How many of those accounts are there, and what's the best route to reaching them? So a typical ABM strategy might, there's lots of different ways that you can launch ABM. It could be one-to-one, one-to-few, one-to-many. But perhaps for this type of company, maybe we leverage all three of those in different tests to try to break through into different accounts. So that could be an avenue that we would explore. Again, equally, you wouldn't necessarily need to go down an ABM route. That typically would work with that type of deal size, but that's not to say that an effective strategy across paid search could be in play. We just recognise that there's potentially lots of pitfalls. Generally, the companies that are coming from paid search are smaller companies looking for cheaper solutions is generally the rule of thumb. So we bake all of it into the mix.